Encouraging signs tonight that New York State is accelerating on the road to recovery. 5 regions will enter phase 3 tomorrow. That means restaurants can have people seated inside at half capacity. Personal care services like nail salons and tattoo shops can reopen as well. But all businesses still must require masks and enforce social distancing rules. Governor Cuomo surprised some people today by punting the decision on reopening schools and playgrounds to the cities. And in New York City, there is still confusion about whether schools will open by September. News 4's Andrew Siff is live in Long Island City in Queens with the vague plans outlined by city and school district officials.
That's right, Chuck. Schools like this one have been closed since March. The initial hope was that they would all fully reopen in September. That is appearing to be less likely after a letter went out from the New York City schools chancellor. So there's a lot of anxiety for kids, for parents, and teachers still waiting for clear guidance. When high school English teacher GABRIELLE UTTING said goodbye to her students, she had no idea when she'd be back in the classroom. In your mind, when do you think you need to have clarity on this?
As soon as possible.
Thousands of her colleagues in the same boat. They learned this week the chancellor wrote an email to principals about the plan for September called blended learning, some time in school buildings combined with remote learning.
It's still very unclear if we're going back. Sometimes are teachers there full time, are students there on a rotating schedule? Because that doesn't really make sense. If a teacher gets sick, they're still going to expose all of their students on the rotating days. So it just seems like a lot of uncertainty right now.
Today I asked Mayor de Blasio if he had given up on the idea of returning 1 million kids to city schools full time. Has that option realistically been eliminated?
No, it has absolutely not been eliminated. The import of the letter to me was to say, hey everyone, this is going to be tough, but be ready to be someplace on a continuum. It could be every single student back in school. It could be no students back in school.
Some education experts worry the city is asking too much.
Trying to do both of those at the same time when teachers really have never been prepared to do online teaching just seems like an impossible task to me.
Meanwhile, as school plans remain up in the air, Governor Cuomo did give the green light to open pools and playgrounds, giving the city permission to open up, but also urging caution.
Well, everybody wants to swim. I understand. But everybody doesn't want to see a spike in COVID again.
The city has said it is still studying plans for possibly opening pools at some point this summer and playgrounds. They're working on that as well. We're live in Queens. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
All right, Andrew, still a lot of decisions to be made. Thanks so much for that. Well, the city wants to help support unemployed and underemployed restaurant workers. So Mayor de Blasio and First Lady CHIRLANE MCCRAY announced the Restaurant Revitalization Program today. It's a $3 million program that will focus on communities hit hardest by COVID-19. The program will provide grants of up to $30,000 each to subsidize wages of $20 per hour for at least 6 weeks.
We must tend to the small businesses at the heart and soul of our neighborhoods, especially our restaurants. These are familiar neighborhood places where personal histories have been written. When you are there, it feels like you're in your own kitchen.
Initially, 100 restaurants will be selected, with preference given to those who offer free or reduced cost meals to New Yorkers affected by the pandemic.
Today marks the 100th day since the outbreak began in New Jersey, and the state's reporting 70 new deaths for a total of 12,443 now. The state has 539 new positive cases. New Jersey now is 4 days away from its second stage of reopening.